Hello, everybody. We're
Hello.
back. How you doing? Um, Welcome to the Seekers Chronicles Paranormal Historians, where the history meets the paranormal.
Very nice.
Um, we're
Ooh,
back.
great little echo.
A
Sorry.
great weekend. Uh, you went somewhere this weekend because you always, or did you have one weekend home?
You know what? I did forget last week that I did have an investigation. We we're back with Morris County Parks Commission, which is in New Jersey, where we live. It's in Morris County, New Jersey. We investigate lovely historical places, and we had a pre-investigation for our public event. And this is an interesting one because it's outdoors. So outside of the
Mm,
Willows Mansion in
yes.
yeah, and it's the Willows Mansion we did feature on one of our shows. So it's outside of it. It's called the Foster Fields Living Historical Farm. So I'm joking that we're investigating with cows, but literally we are. But it's a beautiful historical property. And I love that we're doing the outside, not just the inside, because people forget that, don't they, Anthony,
Mhm.
sometimes? Like they just
Yeah,
go
yeah.
inside and they forget the outside. So I'm excited. It's September 27th. We had a pre-investigation which with some of our good friends. And I forgot to mention that last time. So no, this
Yeah.
weekend I was just chilling out.
Yeah. And this weekend I had a huge weekend.
I
Um,
know. So figured I'd get me out of the
yeah,
way because now it's going to be all about you this
about
time. I'm going to
the
sit back and eat my sour Haribo bats.
my first time to Maine. I never been to Maine in my life.
Really?
Yeah, my first time. It's nice. I'm driving up there, and all of a sudden I'm looking back. There's water on both sides of the road. I'm like, where the hell am
Huh?
I? I said, I was there with Uncle Giuseppe, and I was like, we're not in Oz no more. It's like
It's like being in
it's
Baltimore almost.
beautiful. It's
I mean, in
really
Maryland.
beautiful
Yeah.
area. Yeah, I was at the Maine Paranormal and Horror Con, the first ever. It was unbelievable.
Was it?
It was unbelievable. That I mean, the guest. I mean, we went out for dinner and the night before the event, and it's 8 hour ride for me. So I got 8 hours. I left Friday morning. 8 hours, and then we'll get there, and I had to set up, and I was by 4 o'clock, and then went out to dinner and stuff. But it was awesome location, and
I can't wait to
that's
hear
what
all
we're going
about
to be
it.
talking about tonight.
I'm so
But yeah,
excited.
I got to show my art. I had so many people. I mean, it's the first time that I went from paranormal and horror con in one thing. So it's like
I've
I
never done that.
went over
Yeah.
went over
Cool.
genres, and the people with the horror and stuff, they loved my pictures. I was like, unbelievable. And hopefully handed out a lot of cards. So hopefully somebody be in the audience. And if they're in the
You
audience, they're gonna actually announce that they met me at the main.
Oh,
Uh,
good. Yeah, let us know,
so
and
hopefully
I'll
I
post the
will.
comments. You
So
weren't expecting that, Anthony? You weren't expecting the horror people to like your drawing so much. We'll get into it,
no,
but
no, no. I never do. I guess I'm the hardest critic of my
of
art.
course,
Remember,
we all are.
I had it
Yeah.
hidden for years. Only 3 years ago, I just started bringing it out, and I was reluctant to bring it out. And now I've been doing the paracons or the paracons, and now horrorcons. I did the cryptics and everything. I did
Yeah,
all
you
the
did. You
and
did.
and
Yeah.
they, and everybody seems to like it, and I'm finding it to be like wow. And they're telling me, "Oh, you're such a great artist." I
You
never thought I
are.
was. I never thought I was. I thought I was okay. I did make art school, and when I was, but I never went because I thought it was too cool. I had to go to another school, and you know,
You were
I,
too
I, I
cool.
actually made the New York School of Art
Really?
to go for high school. Yeah, yeah. But they didn't have room the first year. They had room the second year, and they called me, and
I didn't know that.
yeah, and I was like, I'm here with my friends, and I should have
Yeah.
went, but I did what I had to do. But
Yeah, no,
you
exactly.
know,
No, I get it. You're here now. I feel like
yeah.
you're here now where you're meant to be. So this is great
hmm
stuff. I
So
can't believe you drove 8 hours. The whole
I'm
last
going to
week
just.
he was like, "Oh, it'll be a couple hours to get there," and I'm thinking, and I kept saying, "Anthony, I don't think you've looked at a map."
I thought it was going to be like 24 hours or something like
Yeah,
that.
no, I was like,
24 hours, it's like I going to Gettysburg, but nah, you know. So I'm just
no.
going to show you a couple of my pictures that I had, and then we'll bring the guest in. This is me at the show.
Oh, looking badass.
Look at this, the Spirit Odd. Okay, and this was my setup that I had at the show. You know, all the
Nice.
different locations, and people seem to love it. Okay, that was my little table there with my stuff, advertising this show and my art. You know, that's some of my art that I had there. You
It
know, of
looks
course, I
good.
had my Seekers Club of the Paranormal. I had
Yeah.
to have that out too. You know, and then I
Yep.
reset it the next day. I put more pitch signs up and everything. You know, so here's some of the more of my pictures, and I'll show these quick because I want to bring the guest on. He's
No,
such
but
a
we
great
want to
guy.
get a better look at them in a little while because you can talk about some of them.
Yeah.
That's a
So
nice setup. That they had more room than usual. Usually we're like stuffed in.
yeah, yeah. They did have a nice. This was a convention center. That's why it's not a
That's
hotel.
right.
So
Yeah, the Augusta, is that right? Augusta Convention
Augusta,
Center.
yeah,
See, I was paying attention. So we have a question that's
that's it.
really good. This one that I want you to answer because a lot of people
Is your
ask this
art
question.
displayed, or do you have copies you can sell? Well, after this show and after the Gettysburg one, I really think I'm going to start making copies, and um, you know, I will sell some because I like to get some of my art out there because people have been asking about it. I was also
Yes, they
about
have.
making some T-shirts and some of the on some of the pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'll let everybody know when I can get to that point and start doing that because I mean I never thought this would ever be such a um so
Yeah,
really,
I agree. Like I think the last couple times I've been with you, people have asked you if some are for sale, and I think it would be cool, like in Gettysburg, for you to sell the
yeah,
Gettysburg one, like prints of the Gettysburg one,
hmm
that pertain to the location.
yeah. I mean I will have a main one because I did see somebody up on the balcony waiting, you know, looking down. So
Cool. Well, you have a customer here already.
yeah.
Our friend
So,
Melissa. Hi,
but
Melissa.
I'm definitely getting the book together with the pictures. Definitely
Yes,
have
we're
to get
doing
that
that.
together because
We're
people have been
doing that.
asking about that too, and everybody's like,
Okay.
I would buy that, so we will.
It's got to be it's a priority for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get the books and the print out and stuff like that. Maybe by next year, I'll have one. I'll have a book to start.
Definitely
So
by next year.
let's get our guest in here. I can't wait to talk to him.
Yes,
Well,
it's
talk to him some
episode
more. We
48.
spent
Are
so
we?
much time this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know, we missed each other on Monday, so I have to bring him back on Tuesday
I
to have
love
a
it.
conversation with him. You know, so yeah. So here, Jennie, take the honors.
I will. And yeah, it's episode 48, correct? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. We are nearing a year, people.
That's right. I
Nearing
also
a year.
we're booked with guests into February 2026. We got guests, so that's awesome.
So
So I'm sorry.
no, it's
Bring in our
good.
guest.
Keep on coming back, everybody. We're booked until February. Unbelievable. So Adam wants to know what shirt I have on. Let's just get this out of the way. I'm a massive David Lynch fan, and I recently found out that our friend Adam is as well. So I've got a Twin Peaks shirt on, our diner. Damn good coffee. He'll get it.
Get the little midget dance in the background.
We always talk about our shirts. You got a new one today?
Oh, I got Paranormal Investigator. I got this at Gettysburg.
Okay. With the Ouija
I also
board.
got this
Nice.
on here.
Oh, that's really nice. That's the design king.
Yeah,
Doing that.
and they did a really good job on these also.
He really did.
Get,
He really did on everything. On everything.
Yeah, they went out on everything. So
yeah,
I'm really excited to talk to our guest and
yes, me too. Sorry about that.
You know, talk to our guest on this because he was there the whole weekend with me and
cool.
You know, him and his wife, and it was a great time. So
you're gonna love this guy, you guys.
Okay,
really,
do the announcement.
Warm welcome to Jeremy Cotter. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Seekers Chronicles.
Hey, hello. How you doing, Anthony? Hello, Jen. How are you guys?
Hello.
We're
Nice to
doing
have you.
good. We're doing
Well,
good.
thank you. It's my pleasure to be on here tonight. I really appreciate the opportunity. So, you know,
We're so happy to have you. It's perfect timing.
it
Yeah.
really is. It was an amazing weekend full of crazy times, but it was definitely worth every minute, and I definitely wouldn't trade it for anything. That's for sure.
I love it.
You know,
Crazy times with Anthony Simonelli. I don't believe it.
Yeah,
I may
we
have had a few of those.
dinners together, lunches, breakfast.
Oh
We
yeah,
had a whole deal.
yes, we did. That's for sure. You know,
I love it.
it was an amazing event. You know, Jeff and Ashley and Danger, they did an amazing job. It was unlike anything I'd ever would have imagined for a first time event, and they knocked it out of the park for sure. I mean, everything was
Did
just
they?
spot on. Oh, it
I
was
had no
spot on.
doubt.
You know?
We
I
had
mean,
them on the week before. So
oh,
this is
okay.
so cool to do a follow-up on it. Like we had them on the week before it, and now we have you to talk about the event afterwards. I feel like it's perfect.
Yeah, it was a lot of. I am so happy that I was part of the event. You know, I did a panel of paranormal with four other great individuals, myself and Russ Stiver and Nathaniel Ewell, Adam Began, and Christina Spencer. The five of us were up on stage Saturday evening around 5 o'clock, and it was amazing. I mean, we had a decent crowd for being the last thing of the day before taking a break in between to go and have the VIP party around. Like I think it was like 7:15 ish that everybody's getting together for the VIP party. So it was a lot of fun, you know.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I had my little ceremony in between, but we can definitely get to that in a little bit. That's
for sure. We're gonna definitely get to that. That's a big deal.
Yeah, that's very cool. I think I have a picture of you on the panel. I don't know
good.
what it is.
You can't miss me on the panel, that's for sure.
No, we couldn't. That one thing we could not.
No.
Where is the panel? I think I had it on here. I don't want to put the wrong thing up.
It'll be funny.
There were so many pictures. There were just so many pictures, you know, and it's. I thought I took more pictures than I actually did. I guess I spent more time talking to people than I actually did taking pictures, which is normally what happens because, you know, my favorite part about going to conventions is connecting with people, talking to people, and getting to know them, and making new friendships, and seeing my old friends like Anthony, and you know, and getting a chance to spend time with my paranormal family, you know, which is as important to me as anything that you could possibly imagine, you know, and you know, 3 days it honestly didn't feel like long enough at times. My body would tell me otherwise, but my mind would definitely tell me that I definitely could use a little bit more time. You know?
I hear that. Yeah,
I ended up leaving that place on a cane. I had to walk. I was like, oh no.
Was it a lot of walking? Well, it's a huge place.
Standing. And,
Plus, you're on your feet from the morning to the afternoon. You know, so it's like we got there like 9 o'clock in the morning, and you know, it was. I think after about 5 or 6 hours on Saturday, I went and took a quick break because I had to come back and do the panel, and we had wandered around for a while and talked to a lot of people, and I knew that I was gonna be talking to people all weekend, so I'm like, I gotta give my legs a break, and then I had to go back. I went and changed into costume because I had some things going on, and next thing you know, I am sitting on the panel dressed like Beetlejuice. So it's you know, it's I mean, I took the wig off. You can't miss the bright sprite, you know, the striped suit, the black and white striped suit.
This is such a cool story, everybody. I can't wait to get to it.
Man, and I did have you.
Did you have the picture or not? Because if not, we can back up and start at the beginning.
I'm upset because I know I downloaded it. I did put it up here, and I don't want to bring the wrong picture up.
It's okay.
Yeah, I know. I posted a bunch of pictures of it. And God only knows I've seen a lot of other pictures of me wearing that suit all day long since I've been scrolling through my Facebook today, and like, wow.
I'm going to see.
Looking like Beetlejuice.
If I have it.
I love it. I love it.
There ain't nothing like seeing a 6'3", 360-pound plus person wearing a Beetlejuice costume walking around on the floor And I'll tell you, Sunday when I went back into the event on Sunday, I wasn't wearing the suit. They're like, "You were Beetlejuice yesterday." I'm like, "Yep, yes, I was."
Like, hey, Beetlejuice.
Some reason it's not coming up.
Well, that's okay. Let's start at the beginning. So, you are a paranormal investigator, correct?
Yes. Yep. That's that's one thing I definitely enjoy. So.
Yeah. So usually our first question, since this is a paranormal show and a history show, is how that came about. How did you get involved in that for people who don't know you?
So I'm going to give you the long-winded story. I apologize for it, but I might as well just get it out there.
We've got 2 hours here, Jeremy.
You got 2 hours for your long-winded story.
Your show. Go.
So let me take it from the top. My wife was a huge fan of all the paranormal shows, like Paranormal State and Ghost Hunters, and all the other ones. I used to think it was all a bunch of bullshit. To be perfectly honest, I'm being honest. I used to make fun. I used to make fun of her watching the shows. Be like, "Oh my God, listen! I think a fly farted somewhere. I think that wasn't even a creak in the floor."
My husband still says that kind of
stuff. Because I don't know, it wasn't my thing at the time. So one day she decided that she wanted to go to a paranormal investigation at this place called the S.K. Pierce Haunted Victorian Mansion in Gardner, Massachusetts. It's a beautiful. Okay, you know it. Then that's great. So
beautiful. Yeah.
This was easily, I'm going to say 2011, 2012, somewhere around that time frame or so. And I went with her to go to the investigation, and she's like, I go, "Who's doing this?" She's like, "Oh, a paranormal medium's doing it." I go, "Oh yeah, well, I'm a paranormal XXX." I was just making all sorts of really stupid jokes.
I say it all the time. I'm a medium. I'm a XXX.
So we get to the place. Oh my God, I was like, this place is huge, and it was way before they did any of the renovations. I mean, this was back when it was still raw, bare bones. They were still working. I mean, they weren't even really starting the renovations at that point yet. So, it definitely had a lot of patina to it, to say the least. And so, on a lot of investigations that groups hold, they usually do like a tour. They take you on a tour of the facility. They get all the patrons together, and they take you up the stairs. And if you know SK Pierce, the staircase that has the thing on at the top of the first level, right before the staircase that goes up to the third level. There's like they had like the master bedroom, and they had like the woman's red room on the side. I mean, this is before they even really went into any detail, So I can't stay in a pack to save my life. It's just not my nature. I have to branch off and go do things on my own, because that's just who I am. Yeah. So the tour went off to go do something. I took a right-hand turn into what they call the old nursery. So when I walked into this room, then there was a connective room. And all that was in there was like a crib. On the floor, there was like a dresser and a mirror that was partially hanging off of the wall. You get the idea. So all of a sudden I'm in there and I'm looking, and this big black mass comes out from the side of the wall. It literally blocked the window and the street light you could see from that window for a couple of seconds, and then went poof and disappeared. What? And I'm like, what in the blue hell was this? So because of my previous thing that I used to do, I'm sitting there looking for wires. I'm looking for a smoke machine. I'm looking for a projector. I was in, and we'll talk about that later. I was in some, a performance art at one point, or performance thing. And
we'll talk about it.
I was looking for a way that this could possibly have gone, and there was nothing. Like, this was just, it was an old wall, a mirror, and the wire that kept it going on. And I was like, "Oh, what the hell did I just see?" So I backed slowly out of the room, and I went to go find my wife. And I go, "Honey, I don't know what the hell this was, but I just saw something crazy." And she's like, "Really?" I go, "Yep." And from there on, that was my very first experience face to face with any kind of an entity of any nature.
That's incredible. That's an experience.
And I'm very fortunate that since then I have everything has just changed for me. I went from being a skeptic to being sensitive to becoming clairvoyant. So I'm actually able to communicate with spirits now, just like I'm talking to you guys. I can actually talk to spirits directly, and it's really cool. I never thought it was going to happen. I didn't understand why it happened. It just happened. Like, it started off easy, like catching things out of the corner of the eye, like you normally see, and then they would actually come walking out in full view, and then I could start hearing like phantom conversations, and I could actually hear them clearer. And then I started realizing that I didn't need equipment to be able to hear what was going on, and I would have people who were at investigations that I was at using equipment to verify what I heard. And it's weird. I have a lot. Usually, it's a lot of child and woman spirits that flock to me for attention, and then sometimes I get the alpha males who will kind of try to like step up to me because I'm a big guy, and how male, whatever it is, but bravado or whatever. But wow, it's really cool, and we can definitely get into a lot of the other places. I mean, I was very fortunate. I'm very happy that I've had a chance to go to places like the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast. I've had the chance to go to many, many places, and I learned to have an appreciation for the paranormal. Not because of TV shows, because I really didn't get my start in TV shows. I really didn't sit there and watch the shows. I was more interested in learning experiences, and then I would work with like different mediums and people, and trusting my instincts and opening myself up to all experiences. I learned how to turn myself on, but I'm not too good about turning myself back down. I'm still working on the grounding part. I'm still working on turning off my abilities. There was a long time I kept it open for a long, long time because I didn't want to miss anything. I didn't want to miss any chances. I don't want to miss any chances to get a chance to have an opportunity to witness something that if I was closed off, that I would have missed it. Whether it was verbal conversation with somebody invisible, or not being able to see them, or like I somehow fell into channeling. Channeling's a kind of a dangerous thing, but I've actually done it a few times.
That's something.
Once or twice on purpose, but the first 2 times that it happened were not on purpose. And
that's
the first one wasn't that scary. The second one definitely was. And we can definitely get into
weren't
all
you
of
like, what's happening here, or were you aware of what's happening?
The first time I was not. The first time, another place in Massachusetts, it was the Murdoch Whitney. It's actually the Winchendon Historical Society, the Murdoch Whitney mansion or whatever, I forget what it's called. And right across the street from it is the Isaac Morse house. So like the Isaac Morse wasn't really being used at the time. It was basically the Murdoch Whitney. And I ended up channeling a gentleman who thought he knew my wife from a former life. So it was like he was talking through me to her because he thought she was an old flame of his from like the 1800s.
Oh, interesting.
With that channeling was weird because it felt like I was going down a hallway and I was trying to open doors and the doors weren't opening. And then when I finally found an open door and I went through it, I came back. And my wife's like, "Do you remember anything?" I go, "No." She goes, "Your voice was different. Your mannerisms were different. You were a completely different person." To this day, she's never played the clips for me because I know she recorded it. And I don't blame her because it could be a bit much, even though it was a good stretch of time ago, but sorry, I lit some incense earlier because I like to keep my mood calm, and then I kind of try to throw it.
I kind of love that you lit some incense.
If you ever need, you and I could talk about how to shut it off. It took me a long time to shut mine off, also, for my ability.
I've been learning how to close it off now. For a while, I didn't have a choice. It was actually, I got shut down last year, not by choice. My mother, God rest her soul, came through and shut me down because I lost my father to complications to strokes last July, probably about 4 days before Gettysburg last year. Actually, I lost him that weekend, and I was in a horrible place, depression and anxiety. I was feeling in my lowest, and because I was open, it was like 10 times worse. It was like putting a magnifying glass on an ant. That's how bad it was. It was really bad, and I felt all of a sudden I was just shut off. And I was shut off probably for I'm gonna say a good 8 months. Like I wasn't allowed. I didn't get back in until earlier this year. And
Oh, wow.
when because I saw a therapist and did all of that thing. I'm not afraid to talk about any of that kind of stuff. It's just part of the journey,
Good. That's
and
healthy.
through
Good.
all of that, I've been able to balance myself to the point where she decided that she was able to let me turn it back on. And I'm thankful for that. I really am, because
of course.
It's
what a good mom.
What's that?
What a good mama.
Oh no, I agree. I mean, I was a little bit mad at first. A little bit bent off at first, because it didn't happen until about September-ish, I'm thinking, because I did go through a couple of months where I was just in a rough spot. But when I came back into my abilities, I have more of an appreciation for everything now, and it makes it a lot easier to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that with the shutting down and everything. I went a long time, and I didn't learn to shut down till I went to after the towers went down. That October 2001. I went down Halloween with a bunch of pagans, and I'm Catholic. They asked me if we wanted. I said I'm interested, and I'm interested in everybody in the paranormal, whatever. So I went with them. When I got out of the train station, because this just happened, everything on September, and everything overwhelmed me, and I from this train station to where the wall was, where the hole was, I was nauseous, almost sick, and everything. Then they started doing their Wiccans, and they were doing some ritual stuff like that, and they were drinking and pouring water. Then they put salt around us as a protection seal. As soon as the salt touched, everything shut down. Everything shut down. I was shut down for 6 months.
Wow.
And I learned how to shut myself down, because I went so many years without knowing how to shut. I could walk anywhere and there'd be something. It was sometimes got so overwhelming, and I'm driving, things are going through my car and everything. So I have to learn to shut myself down too.
I think like
ground yourself and everything.
No, you're right, and because the more you're on, the more your abilities they change. And for me, it went from just being simply talking to people. Then the channeling was definitely a really big thing. Then I was able to do astral projection a little bit, like traveling, when through sleep and stuff like that too. And I think being able to talk to people in dream state was probably to me the craziest thing, because like seeing the veil through my unconscious mind was one of the craziest things. To me, it looked like the Aurora Borealis, the lights, the northern lights kind of a thing. It actually presented itself like that to me. And there were several times that I met up with my parents right outside of it, and I tried to talk to them, and I wanted to see what was inside. So I tried to peek my way into the veil, and I got shoved back like a bouncer at a club. It was definitely
Can you imagine you getting shoved back? Wow.
I mean, but it is true, because when you're at your absolute peak of anxiety, or you're at your peak of your emotional, your crest, you try to get some ideas. You're like, you get really over the edge. And I met up with my parents, and I had a chance to talk to them, and it was one of those experiences where it's like, it's not your time. You need to stay here. And then
exactly.
I'm like, but I want to go too. And I actually watched her come through, and she brought him with her, and they went together. And then when I tried to follow just to go see what was going on, I got pushed right back. And I was told, not your time. So
how beautiful though.
That's the last time I've actually had that particular dream state sequence, because if it's not my time, then I'm not allowed to try to see in there. I mean, everybody says that the veil is thin, and I think that the veil between realms is definitely thinner than it's ever been before. But I still call it there's still the the spiritual bouncer at the gate that's not going to let you through until it's your actual time. So
right,
yeah,
like Mary Beth says,
so many
you shall
different
not
ships
pass.
and time and the veil and everything. I feel it's very thin and it's getting thinner and thinner, and to travel into it's I think at one time it's going to just be so easy just to go from place to place.
Really?
But I don't know if it's going to be a good thing. It's not a good thing. And the veil, to me, is different times. It's different. It's like I feel it's like us in a different veil and doing different things. It's like duplicates of us in different
Oh,
times, different like in this time you're something, and that veil you're something else, and another veil you're something else. It's like alternate times and places and stuff like that. Like they have like Spider-Man. You know how they have the Spider-Man movie, and he has
yep.
yes.
all these different Spider-Mans all over the
Oh,
world.
multiverse stuff.
Yeah, the multiverse and stuff. I feel that we have duplicates of us somewhere, and not as duplicate, but something like us or whatever.
I hate to say it, I think it's that way walking around these days. I've actually seen people who are like direct doppelgangers of other people, and you would swear, aside from like hair colors or skin tone, like the facial structures of many people that I've seen. Because I mean, I work at a hospital. That's what my real job is, and you see people like, I know that person, and you're like, oh no, I guess I don't know that person, but she looks just like somebody else that I know. And it's amazing. And
I'm fascinated with this. This is like a subject that I've been researching to death lately. So I'm like, the whole doppelganger thing.
I will definitely say this. I'm not a historian. I'm a person who lives life through experiences. So for me, everything I talk about comes directly from the heart and what I definitely believe. And lately, it's kind of weird. I spend a lot of time, like I go to the gym a couple days a week, and I'm like watching the monitors up on the TV, and they like the History Channel is on one of them, and Discovery Channel is on the other TV, like right where I'm always standing. And when the travel or the Travel Channel, whatever it is, and there was like they were talking about like when they they unearthed different civilizations, whether they've been finding more and more civilizations in the jungle, and the civilizations that they're finding up in the Antarctic and like frozen areas, and in the desert they're finding, and the underwater cities. And you realize that these places actually did exist, and they're finding mechanisms that they can't even explain by today's standards how they work with all of the advanced technology. They don't even know how these things work. There was one particular episode, and I know it's getting off topic of shade, but let me just figure to bring it up. But
I love it. Go for it.
I saw this cube that had all these gears on it that they had found in a temple in I think it was South America. I think it was like a South American temple that they found this thing in. And they all stayed around and they had no idea what it was for or how it worked. And these are scientists who deal with things that are much more complex, at least complex for us nowadays. They couldn't figure out that this basic box full of gears and what it might have been used for. And then my other favorite thing is the Easter Island heads. The heads of the Easter Island. And the fact that those things have full bodies underneath, and they're all holding weapons. They've actually done sonar to show that they're actually full-bodied with weapons. And then you think to yourself, how long did it take them to get all the way down so that only their heads show? And then people think that, some people that I know think that ghosts and spirits are actually from the people who were here before this current iteration of mankind was here, like the previous people, indigenous species who actually lived on this earth, which is kind of weird. I know. I mean, it's not really my
I've never heard that theory. That's interesting.
Well, if you think about it, look how many things they're finding that are buried that they can't explain, that predate any form of mankind that we possibly can go back and realize. And like there's so much stuff that they're finding more and more things that are just unexplainable. Like buried civilizations in the rock. It's like, how long has it been in there? Far longer than we have any documentation for, but it's cool, And I think the main part is that we're never going to know the true answers. Just like in the paranormal, we have so many great experiences, but we're never going to know the true meaning of it all because it's such a vast thing that anybody who calls themselves an expert, I just say no. I'm like,
I laugh at
maybe,
that, really.
maybe you're an expert in what you've done as far as like your experiences. Maybe that's great, but
maybe not.
as soon as you hear other conversations from people who have done things that you can't even explain, and you're like, well, I guess I don't really know anything about this,
No.
and how, and then there's people who have like they think that ghosts and the aliens and Bigfoot are all tied together, and
I've heard that.
Between aliens, between Bigfoot being an alien, which would explain how a 9-foot tall creature can cloak, unlike anything that the military could ever possibly come up with, or that even aliens even if aliens put mankind on this planet because they didn't like the last species of beings that they had on here, so they decided to wipe out that consciousness and put on a whole new one. We don't know.
Right.
All we know is what we have documented, which is really not much at all. So
no, it's a small drop in the bucket, And look at the seas, the oceans, and all the vast stuff that they find there now. But it's like we know just nothing. We don't know anything about all these.
We know nothing.
We know nothing.
Isn't that the scary part? We know nothing because they're finally admitting that dinosaurs were feathered. A lot of them were feathered. Everybody thought they were all just giant
birds.
Exactly, but they've actually been saying, well, they have the places where they were all feathers. Like a lot of them were completely gigantic feathered creatures. I'm like, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, and they and all the years that we were told lizards. So
sorry, Anthony, go ahead.
You follow 411 story.
You follow the missing 411 stories.
I'm not familiar. I don't think.
I have no idea. Sorry, Mary Beth.
There is so many things out there. It's hard.
411. I don't know what that is.
Like information stories.
Yeah,
I definitely will have to at some point. There's just so much because like my wife is big into true crime, so I've been watching a lot of true like crime dramas and all like to. Signs of a psychopath, and she likes to watch and all of that kind of thing. So she loves all of those things and
to relax, right? People watch that to relax.
Yeah, it's funny.
Funny. I like Ancient Aliens. I do enjoy that show.
Yeah. I mean, I do enjoy some paranormal shows, but it's so hard because like I would much rather. Be investigating, be in the moment, and be there than watch other people doing it on television. But I also appreciate and respect everybody's and what they've done in the field. So, and I've met a lot of great people along the way. So,
when it comes to the TV shows, coming from the era I came from doing the paranormal stuff, 2004 is when I started with the shows. It opened up communication between people that didn't believe and people that did, and it was people like me and that were doing it back then that couldn't talk about it or could actually be more open about it now and talk about it without any kind of stigma saying you're devil worshippers, because back then that's anything to do with that was always something bad. And
I know, I agree with you.
Opened it up. Okay. The TV shows, like anything there is, they started out with the good intentions. The networks took over and production, and they blow it out a little more because they got to sell. They want viewers. So how are you going to view it? Not the way we investigate. We sit. How many hours we sit? How many hours we sit in a location that's dark and damp and not get nothing, and then we might
4
or 5
12 hours with nothing.
12 hours, yeah.
We're like, it was awesome.
You were sitting there, and then we get something like hey, look, we got an EVP. But that's the way it is. The right way of doing it is we sit hours. It's like fishing. When people go fishing, they go out on a boat, they throw their line in, they sit there all day. They may catch one, they may not. Paranormal is the same way. We throw our lines in and see if we can get something, without our equipment. So that's what's happening with the TV shows now, that they'll push something to make, to make somebody say, oh, because somebody told me this weekend, and I thought it was the right. It's now people just want to view things. They don't want to sit down and study or listen or read or nothing. They just want it bang, 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 bang.
Right.
They want it now. They want it now. And the kids
Yeah, that is true.
Huh?
Yep.
That is true.
That's the absolute truth.
They don't want to sit there for hours. They want it right away. And because I've been with new people that came in, younger kids, and they'll go, when's something going to happen? Something may not happen. They want it now. And like with my pictures, people they like to watch. Now it's visual. And they say, people like to see the visual of things. And my pictures are like now giving, and I've been saying with the people, my drawings, I give faces to the dead.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody wants visual. So the shows now are starting to go left field, and I look at them and I don't watch them anymore because it's ridiculous. Some of them, the shows, what they're showing out there. But I give the shows a credit at the beginning to actually open up the paranormal for a conversation with people that have it, that have the feelings of, the seeing and psychics and everything else. And then, of course, you're going to get the people that are going to come in now, too, that part of that they want I question some of their abilities sometimes. I don't tell them to their face. I just let them do it. But some of the people, I still question some of their abilities because I don't know if they're in it for the buck or they're in for it like us. I don't get paid for this.
No.
I agree.
You know
I
what?
want to help people.
To expand for a second before we move on to another thing, obviously we have lots to talk about, but I agree with you entirely. It's that 15 minutes of fame. It's that, it's how many likes can I get on my TikTok videos? How many likes can I get on my YouTube channel? How many?
The shock value, right?
But it's because a lot of people make their revenue exactly. And we also know that when they make a show like Ghost Hunters, they're filming for like 5-7 days, and they compress it all down to 42 minutes plus commercials. So when everybody thinks that there's something happening immediately on every single show, whether it's those or some of the YouTube shows that I've watched, which are even more obnoxious, but I'm not going to get into that. That's their personal business. I don't want to get in. I'm not going to give them, and I'm not even going to mention them by name because I don't want to give them any press where I don't feel they deserve to have it.
Well, we know what you're talking about.
Exactly. I figured you would. So that's why I'm just generalizing. But to me, it's like 15 minutes of fame, a quick buck, like Tony said. The hard part is there are so many people who fake. I hate to say fake, but they. I was final to say it. They fake their abilities so they can get into certain places and they try to get doors open for themselves where there wouldn't be doors open for them. Because something, I don't believe in faking them. If nobody wants to believe me, hey, that's cool. But I'm not into making anything out of it. But I'm very happy to say that most of the locations that I go to, I do get some sort of communication almost every single time that I go because I'm open to it all the time. When I go in, I open myself up before I even walk in the front door. I'm always very respectful to the spirits. I don't go in there saying, show yourself and I think that's so disrespectful. I want to slap the people, let alone the ghosts want to slap people. I really am. I just like, you're not here. You're in their home. You're in their backyard. This is their place to live. Your ass is leaving in 3 or 4 hours. They're staying here for as long as they have to. So show some respect. That's my biggest thing. Show respect. 100%. Just like I show respect to people who I'm talking to, like you guys and everybody else. Show respect to the spirits who reside in these places. And please, if a spirit's grumpy, don't call them the friggin' D word. I'm not even going to use the D word because I hate the D word. And we all know what the D word is. We all know what the D word is. Nope. And I'm not talking about devil. That's the other D word that everybody seems to think is attached to every negative energy you can possibly think of. Nope. Like my wife and I learned. Go ahead. Sorry.
Jeremy, I have a thing when people say that. I tell people you're not that special. Like, you're just not that special. Like, what makes
Let me
you
tell you
think
something.
you are so bad, and that you just that the demon would come to you? You know what I mean?
have
I
to
say
think,
you're not that special.
you're absolutely right. And I feel this. I go, if one of those is showing itself to you, then it's here to do something to you that you're not going to like very much. And it's not going to sit there and have a cup of coffee with you.
Right.
You're going to be in some trouble. And the amount of people who say that they've seen one versus the actual is staggeringly low. It's not even.
Yeah.
It's like non-existent.
That's how they now. They put that. They say that on every one of their podcasts. They say everyone on their YouTube, TikToks, Facebook, just to get the ratings.
Yeah.
They go there for a couple hours, and then they start. Oh, this place is, there's demons here. There's demons here. There's demon house, demon this, demon that. And, and it's like, how can you?
That's a lot of demons.
Hours and one. I've been investigating since I was 13 years old.
Okay.
And I never came across a demon.
No.
I came across negative energy that hurt me. They scratched me. They burned me. I got bitten. I got clawed. I had hand marks and prints on me. I got things thrown at me. I got hit in the head. I mean,
yes, I've been there. I've A to Z, all that shit.
How would you know? Like, first of all, you're not that special. Second of all, how would you know?
Watches and stuff like that. I mean, I've been all this, and as an investigator, I welcome it and to an extent because that shows me that they're there. And they're not most of the time, and I would say most of the time, all the time, they're not trying to hurt you. They're trying to get your attention by these things.
Yep. And you are right. And Jenny, by what you were saying, how would you know? Basically, I don't know if Anthony might agree with me. One of the first things that we were taught early on is that there are, just like there are mean people in life or nice people in life, it's also how they're going to project themselves in the afterlife. And if you're a jerk in the real life, you might be one in the afterlife. It's not like you're going to all of a sudden change and be the happy-go-lucky spiritual energy. And Anthony, I also understand because I have definitely dealt with some very strong spirits, whether they're elementals or otherwise. But I've never come across anything that I would ever even remotely consider putting those other tags on. Because it's. I don't care who the human being is. I don't care how in tune they are. I don't really think that they could handle it if they came face to face with an actual D. I really do not think so.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's super, super serious. Like that's a lot. We've had investigations where we've had angry, awful people who had passed away who projected themselves that way just to try and scare us out. We're like, what are you? Who are you? And it said, I'm the devil. Okay, we know you're not. Like, really, who are you? Kind of thing. Because, you just want to get rid of us. You're just trying to scare us. But we didn't go right to, oh my God, it's the devil, kind of thing. We went to, okay, this guy's just mad and he wants us out of here. And he's trying to scare us, So we were like, we respect that. We're out of here. No problem. We'll let you have your space, and it was like, okay.
So, I mean, people like just want to make themselves more than they are in the field.
Exactly.
I know people that got into the field, which a couple of years ago, and all of a sudden they're like headlining things, and I'm like, all right, which maybe they're good and whatever. But I don't like when people give bad advice or they talk to the young kids or whatever, and they give them how they do things. I mean, you might have some experience, but come on, teach the kids the right way, how not to be afraid of things. How to, when the kid comes up to me and starts telling me their story, I listen to them. I speak to the kid. I just tell them to, don't be afraid, or just try to make them understand that what's ever there, it's not going to hurt them, but it's going to be there, and how to deal with it. And the parents, I always go to the parents right away and say, don't dismiss them on this. Because a lot of parents twist their
Right.
face like, "Oh, yeah, story again." Don't dismiss them on it. And I tell them I went through stuff like that, and then they see with my drawings or with my abilities and stuff, and they might realize maybe their kid has something also.
Exactly. It's hard because kids can see them early on. Like most of us probably had like imaginary friends that actually were spirits that I was stopping by to see them and maybe like standing in the doorway when they were younger or whatever. But I mean, I think the most important thing is if you end up taking your kids on an investigation, teach them respect.
Exactly.
Teach them to respect teach them to respect the place and the spirits that reside inside, and that goes for the adults too. That's not just for kids. Trust me, it's more for the adults because the kids are quiet. The kids are there and they don't know what's going on. Adults should know better, and there's a lot of adults that we've been in investigations at who are very disrespectful, who've caused problems that we've had to. The people have had to try to calm the energies down a little bit and stuff like that because they got them all riled up, and that's. Unfortunately, I mean, I've been the victim of walking into a room where people were doing things they probably shouldn't have and got blasted for it by the energies that were in there. But it's just, it's just part of the journey, So.
Yeah, it's true. Everything you're saying is true. I mean, definitely. And I love working with Anthony when we have kids at our events, and they just, he's so good with them because he had been there. He knew what it was like to be a kid, to have sensitivity, to see these things. And I love that he's a voice for them because we have kids who are very empathic and like you said, most kids are very open. So I love that. We got to start them out right, people. Agreed.
Yeah.
Start them out with respect. You wouldn't walk into a bar and sit next to somebody and be like, "What's the worst thing that ever happened to you? Tell me about the sickest you've ever been or how you died." Like that's not what you would do. You'd be like, "How are you? What do you do for a living? Nice to meet you."
I guess that depends on how much you
I
had
always
to
tell
drink.
people, speak to them like you speak to the living. These are human beings.
Yeah.
So, you started out not only with the paranormal. I want to bring up this.
Yeah, let's
You were a wrestler.
Yes.
Oh, yep. Yes, I was. Look at that old picture. Oh my God. Yeah, you found one, didn't you?
Yeah, I found one. As we were talking before, I looked down.
That picture was probably circa 2001 or 2, or maybe around that time frame. So to give a basic idea of what was going on, I was actually trained by the legend Killer Kowalski out of the Boston area, Massachusetts.
I used to watch him wrestle. That's why I love it.
I was fresh out of high school. My father's like, I know you're not going to college, so why don't we try this wrestling thing? I got the contact for the Killer School, and we went down to Malden, Massachusetts, and climbed up the 4 flights of stairs to get to the old gym. Walking in there, and I was like, oh my God! And then because I was always a lifetime wrestling fan from a small child in the 80s, enjoying all the guys back in the 80s, and walking in. I think it was late 1991 is when I first got involved into professional wrestling, and I remember going to the first class, and my God. I when I left that first class, I had so many rope burns on me. You thought I got beat with a stick, and I was so tired. My tongue was hanging. I felt like I was dragging on the floor. My dad's like, "So what do you think?" I go, "We're coming back on Thursday for the second lesson." And I just kept going from there. I had my first professional match in about a year later in late 92. And then I wrestled all the way through till 2011 when I retired from professional wrestling in October of 2011. My body just wasn't taking the amount of damage that it probably it all caught up to me. And then for several years I was able to help out backstage, like with booking and character development for people and trying to help other young people come up, and I'm very thankful for all the people that I had a chance to get in the ring with some of my favorites from when I was a child, like King Kong Bundy and Jimmy Snuka and all these guys.
Those guys are awesome. I used to watch them in the 70s. I used to go see
even what's that?
We used to go to the matches, and at Sunny Saigon's, and we knew the woman across the street knew the owner of the place, and they used to get a front row seats all the time, and we right there, and I got to meet every one of them. Of course, Bruno Sammartino was one of them.
Oh
yeah. So my
go back.
my wrestling character's name was the Outpatient, and I was from Bellevue originally. I used to say that I was an escapee from a mental hospital, and that
is clever
because it was so opposite of who I am. I was able to go out there and be wild. I had really long hair and dark Indian eyes, and I used to go crazy. I had the ripped up street clothes, and used to be able to go wild and scream and do all the crazy stuff in the ring. And then I morphed the character in the late 90s into, I joined, we did this street gang from New York thing called the New York Posse with myself and Ron Zombie and Curtis Slam Dog did this thing for several years, and it got over well with the Boston fans as well. Obviously, they hated the hell out of us because we said we were from Bleecker Street in New York City and all that kind of stuff. No. And then later on, I morphed back into the Outpatient because all the promoters wanted me to do that character again. So I changed it again and I modified it and things like that. And it was quite a journey. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun. I would never trade anything in the world for it. My body definitely feels it now at almost the age of 52. So it's definitely catches up to you after a while. But
I had so many
great
bouncing off the thing, and then they say, "Oh, wrestling's fake." Well, something might be a little scripted, but you're still putting your body through that physical.
Yeah, of course.
Physical.
It is really. Yeah, I agree with you. The characters and who wins and loses. Obviously, you can watch Netflix now. The show called Unseen on Netflix, and WWE's current product. They've yanked the curtain back so you can see everything that goes on with the productions and everything, and that's on Netflix live to watch every single time you want to. So, I mean, from there, back in the day when I was doing it, you tried to keep the reality and the fantasy separate from the fans, so the fans could have that immersive experience all the time.
Right.
Am I a drooling lunatic from Asylum? Was that crazy? No, but I was able to provide that character and entertain people, scare them sometimes, but definitely.
Right.
I used to scare kids all the time. It used to be a lot of fun. Little did I know that a decade later I'd be going to asylums and whatnot, searching for things that you can't see to make it up.
Speaking to outpatients, exactly. Yeah, but I mean, you're a performer in a way, and an athlete at the same time.
Yeah, you dress like that outfit and you go in as a trigger object.
There you go. No, you're a big trigger object.
I will say that I'm very thankful for that, because if it wasn't for the opportunity to get into wrestling and get out of the shyness of who I really was in life and become more comfortable in front of crowds and everything, I wouldn't be able to do the speaking engagements and the lectures and whatnot, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it speaking engagements because I'm not a teacher. I'm not trying to teach anybody anything. So it's more engaging with people and telling them about my stories and sharing whatever I have that might possibly help them later on. But as far as lectures are concerned, I'm not a professor. I'm not teaching them anything, so I don't consider it a lecture. But it makes it so I'm comfortable in front of a group of people. I can do promos. I can talk to people, and I think being professional wrestling helped, because if I never did that, I would have been super shy like I was growing up. And that's just the way it is. So
yeah. So we last weekend we had a great time. So I want to show some of the pictures. Well,
let's talk about the main. Let's get it right. So what's the official title?
The main horror and paranormal convention.
Main paranormal and horror convention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Con. But they're just called the con.
And that awesome logo.
And we had the awesome logo. Let me get that up.
There it is.
Danger Close. What do you call it? Michael Danger. He
Casper,
he designed.
Yeah, talented with design.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree entirely. I mean, I have never seen an event that had better signage and better direction, and everything was labeled where it was supposed to be, and nobody was like so confused on where to go because there were signs everywhere for what stuff was, and it was an amazing experience. You know, Jeffrey Whittam and Ashley Morel and Danger, they did an amazing job. You know, their team did a great job, you know, trying to keep everything in line, and nothing but kudos for them. You know, Jeff and Ashley.
One. I mean, it's the first one. It's the initial, you know, inaugural.
And if you told somebody, if you told somebody that was their very first convention, they'd probably call you a liar because it was so. And they drew such a giant house of people. I mean, I've seen like first time conventions that just drop. You know, they say, oh, we got 2,000 ticket sales, and literally maybe 200 people show up the whole weekend. I mean, I've seen ghost towns of events because of whatnot and so forth. You know, But I think they said the total of people walking through was like 6,000 people walked through the doors.
Oh my God! Yeah,
in 2 days.
2,500 tickets were sold just on Friday.
Yeah,
really.
And
yeah. It's like I don't know how many hundreds of VIP were sold. So, okay, this woman here, see her?
Yep.
Okay.
Right there.
Do you know her name?
I do not.
Okay. Look what she had tattooed on her.
Oh, that's the person that got Jeff's logo tattooed on. Okay. He had told me about that.
Yeah,
beforehand.
She came out. She goes, "Look!" I said, "Oh, you're the lady that had it done." And she goes, "Yeah." And she, the whole weekend, she was free to go anywhere she wanted that weekend.
Of course, you were. When you're a walking billboard, you might as well. You should get comps. Yeah. I gotta tell you,
have it done there?
Huh?
What's that?
Did she have it done there? Were there tattoo artists there?
No, she had it done previously.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah,
they came out. I remember she had it done.
I was talking to Jeff one day, and he showed me the picture of that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he was telling me too. He's like that, you know. I'm like,
it's a beautiful logo.
You know, yeah. I mean, they did such a good job that they actually got billboards at Times Square. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Look at this advertisement right there in the middle of Times Square, and he's on there. I see Jeff up there, and So, and Mary Jo also, they had this.
That's
before
cool.
that, you know.
Yeah, she's cool. I like Mary Jo. She's really cool.
Yeah.
Mary Jo was on there, and look who else is on there. Annabelle.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know what? Before we were talking, you know what I ended up finding? I ended up downloading again.
Oh,
there it is. I can't miss that suit. Nope.
There he is, our guest in his suit. Look at him.
Yep, that's there. My God, look at that, huh? Who knew Marvel's Kingpin was actually sitting up on stage? Good God. There's the whole Beetlejuice costume with the hair, yeah. With my buddy Joe Reno, and I love that guy. That guy is really
I'm loving it.
One of my favorite guys in the paranormal right there. Joe is really one of the best, you know.
Yeah. I talked to him a little bit. I'm still getting to know a lot of these people here because this is up by you. You know, I know pretty much Jersey, Pennsylvania, and all these other states. And so, well, of course, I know you, but
right.
You know, Sam's the one who actually brought me up there, Sam Beltrusis.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we can actually talk about how you and I first met.
That's how we met. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, at the Emory.
Oh, at Mass Park. At Mass Park, right.
The Emory, was it house or mansion, whatever it was?
Yeah, the Emory estate. I forget what town it's directly in because I'm horrible with that at the moment. But Sam had invited my wife Jean and I to come out to the Emory estate that evening, and that's where I met in person for the first time. Not only yourself, but Lords and Ron as well. You know, I love those guys too. Lords and Ron are really cool. I love talking to them every time I see them, spending time with them. They're fantastic people.
Yeah.
You know, when the Emery estate was really crazy. If you want me, I can share a really bizarre Emery estate story if you want to hear about that.
I have
one.
a journal app. I don't have it on my computer.
So in the afternoon at the Emery estate, they were getting ready to order food, and I forget what happened, but my wife was outside, and they had the spirit boxes going during the daytime too. You know, just whatever was going on, just to catch whatever.
Yeah, we had a
and all of a sudden, the thing said steak and cheese, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And then when my wife came inside and we asked her what she wanted to eat, she said steak and cheese, and I was like, what the hell? The spirit knew what my wife wanted to eat for dinner. It was the craziest. It was only like minutes apart. It was crazy.
That's very specific. That's not like pizza. Like, okay, I happen to want pizza. Like everybody eats pizza at a paranormal thing, but like steak and cheese, what?
Yeah, they didn't have a pizza place.
Pizza and the paranormal go hand in hand. I agree. Pizza and the paranormal go hand in hand.
So that would have been a coincidence, but like steak and cheese.
Yeah, she had whispered to me about steak and cheese. Next, you know, the box picked up steak and cheese, and the spirit's like, steak and cheese. I was like, okay, that's how it goes. Okay, interesting.
You want the one too? You should have got two. They were hungry. Yeah, you guys are hungry. They want the steak and cheese sandwich too.
You know, and another great person.
We've had similar things happen, like with the Robert doll at Shanley. You know, when we were just we've had things like that happen, where you're like, how did they know?
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes spirits can actually read into your mind, depending on how open you are, and pull things out of your mind that maybe you weren't expecting. And you know, it's interesting. It's a bit unnerving if you're not expecting it, but
I bet.
You know, like I said, I'm always open for any experience that I can possibly have, and
Same.
You know, I mean, the only tools that I really use personally are like dowsing rods, and I'll put my K2 meter on if I know that the area is not completely loaded full of electrical wires, because I know that can be false readings all the time. But you know, going back to the convention, like we were talking about, you know, Jeff and Ashley are actually, you know, I consider them family, because you know they treated my wife and I tremendously the whole weekend. I love them to death, and they put on a hell of an event. I can't wait to see how next year's is going to be. I can't wait to be a part of next year's event too, because you know, to see how it went down. I mean, and they brought in. I mean, where else can you go and have Leatherface and Jason and Michael Myers and Grandpa, the old guy from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and
oh my gosh, really?
I think the Monster Mountain guys, Willie and the other guy.
I love those guys. They're so funny.
Yep, they were cool. I met them real quick, you know. But
they're funny.
Where else can you have? Can you have all those people? Yeah. And on the top floor, you have Annabelle and the mirror from the Conjuring Last Rites movie and other things. Where else can you have all that in one place, and then everything just runs so smoothly? You know, I've been to so many conventions that things just don't run smoothly. Things don't run right. And the fact that everything ran as smooth as it possibly could. I mean, I'm sure that there were some hiccups that nobody knew about because they kept it so quiet that you wouldn't know about it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But for the first time, I mean, that's just perfect. And so who is there for the paranormal? Who are some of the big names again?
Well, I think Ryan Buell was the big paranormal. Tony Spera and his wife Judy were there. Okay. Johnny Zaffis, the godfather of the paranormal, really nice guy. I like him a lot. You know?
Great.
Yeah, John. I've been on a couple of investigations with him. He's such a great guy to be around.
He is a great guy.
He is cool. I was on an investigation with him one time at Salem Con years and years ago, before the newer version of Salem Con. It was the original Salem Cons, and he did an investigation in the back of one of the storefronts up on Essex Street in Salem, and he used an old tape recorder that they had to press down the record button and the play button at the same time to get the tape to go. And he had everybody go around. He had everybody go around the room and ask a question, and then put like 5 to 10 seconds in between each one. Played it back, and over 8 people got answers to their questions on that cassette tape. And people are like, oh, the cassette tape, probably had like previous voices. I'm like, no, they broke open a fresh cassette and put that in, so there was no previous recordings over.
There's no generations breakdown of the tape.
I'm sorry, but that particular device changed my opinion, because even though you could even use your cell phone and just hit record for a while and then go back and play that video and see if there's anything on that, nothing could possibly be more accurate than that old school tape recorder, because there's nothing else on it at all. So
I got mine.
I have one. I wonder sometimes if it doesn't filter out as much stuff.
Yeah, John did the Conjuring House with us, and that's before everything went south. And he had one, and I had one, because I have mine also, which I like, the old recorder.
Oh yeah.
With each other.
I apologize to everybody in the comment section. I can't see them because it's way too small, and my readers are in the car.
It's fine. You can take a look. We'll let you know if there's a question, but there's some great comments and everybody agreeing with you.
Sam was there.
Oh yeah, that's right. And Sam, we love Sam.
Oh, Sam is one of my favorite people in the paranormal as well.
He's
I've known him.
Absolutely one of ours.
Yeah, I've known him for a long time now, and the first time I've ever met him was in New Hampshire at the Black Swan Inn in Tilton, New Hampshire. I'll give that funny story too. I
love that place. I've been there. I love that place.
So we were doing an investigation there with some friends of ours. I think Brandy Wells, the psychic medium, she was running the event there.
Wait a minute, because I was there with both of them too. That's funny.
You know what? We might have been there at the same time and not even known each other at the time. You never know. So obviously this was a while ago. Sam was there. Yeah. Kristen Capucci, she's a tarot reader kind of person. She was there as well. I remember her. I love her. She's a darling too. But so we're good. We're getting ready to go down to one of the side house. You know how like the main house, but then they had like the side area. And we were going down the stairs. We were going down the stairs, and my poor wife, she tripped over her own feet and she flew in the air, and I caught her in midair and stood her back up. And Sam's like, "Wow, that was an amazing catch." I'm like, "Well, thank you." Yeah. I saved her from face planting on the ground outside of the.
Well, that's your wrestling background. You're quick. Like you're quick.
I know that if she was in the room with me right now, she'd probably be strangling me for sharing that story. But it's okay.
No way, we've all done it. You know what's interesting? Like going back to John Zaffis, the first words that man ever said to me were, "You have a doppelganger." Speaking of.
Wow.
Yeah.
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 That's a D word. That's a D word I don't mind saying, is doppelganger.
Yeah. He said you have a doppelganger. I was like, okay. Hi. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Adam was great to say cannoli. Adam. Yeah. Cannoli.
We have a drinking game on our show. Jeremy, welcome to the drinking game. If we say cannoli, you have to take a drink.
All right.
We tend to talk about cannoli a lot on the show.
That's all right. But going back to the event, there were a lot of tremendous vendors too. I give them all credit for making them.
You're talking. Some of the vendors that I came across. There's some of the stuff that they had.
And like another one of my favorite people, Danny and Lauren, the Radicals. Oh my God!
Oh, I love them, Danny and Lauren. I love them. They're always with them.
They're like they're like family to us too. And I love seeing those guys.
Right there.
I love them.
Yeah. Danny is one of the most amazing vendors as far as presentation is concerned. And now if he sees this, I'm sure he would probably blush because he's a very, chill guy, but
he's very humble, but they're
Danny,
both amazing. I agree.
When Danny goes from being Danny to Danny Radical, he's like an old school carnival barker. He's amazing, and he can talk about his haunted objects, but his presentation, it pulls you in.
Totally.
He pulls you into the conversation, and no matter what, even if you weren't too sure that you were interested in the objects, you automatically get pulled into it.
Oh yeah. I mean, you start telling a story, and you're like, what? Like you just get sucked in.
He makes amazing spirit boards, like I have the one and only Star Wars Ouija board that he custom made for me and gave it to me for my birthday years ago. I don't have a plan. I'm not allowed to have a planchette for it because when I get around Ouija boards, crazy shit happens.
Okay, well, fair.
And I don't mind sharing a story about that. We can definitely get into that after we get finished reviewing with the convention.
I want to cut you off. But look, this is their. See, it says your next.
Yeah, Danny and Lauren. I love that. They have a hearse.
Their daily driver.
Oh, yeah.
Their daily driver.
I think they have three. I believe they have 3 hearses. I think they have a his and her hearse. Yep.
And honestly, if you get a chance to check them out, little plug, the Radicals with a K, do it.
They're going to be guests. I think I have them. I don't know if I got them booked, but a couple of other people that around them I got booked also. So
they came with they came to the Ritz Theater.
Did they?
Saw them. Yep. I can't remember who they came with. Sam. They think they came with Sam. Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
So I want to take a minute or two to plug and or thank the members of the panel that I was on, because I feel that they all deserve some recognition while I'm talking. Nice. So Adam Began, which is all the way to the left hand side, he has his Stephen King tours up in Maine. He does his historical tours and things like that. Really cool guy, off the wall personality, but really, really cool guy. Much love to him and everything he does. Christina, I'm not too familiar with. I just met her at the convention, but she was a real sweetheart. We actually just connected on Facebook, which is really cool. She had a lot of stuff to talk about. I think she's involved in parapsychology, and it was really interesting to hear her speak.
Funny, in the middle, going to be on my show.
In the middle,
December, and then the other one's in January. I'm sorry.
Nice.
Yep. No, it's okay, but I want to say the guy in the middle is my brother in arms. I can't say enough about Russ Stiver. He and I have been through so much shit together, on and off camera, in and out of the paranormal. I love him like a brother, and he deserves all the credit in the world. He kept that goddamn panel together. When it was starting to crumble, he actually started asking questions and pulled it all together, and I give him massive amounts of credit. And right now he's in the middle of his spooky season because he's a manager at a Spirit Halloween, and I don't blame him. He went from the frying pan right into the fire. Right next to me is another great guy, Nathaniel Ewell. We connected more this weekend than we normally did, but I've met him actually, I think, through different paranormal events, and had a great chance to talk to him. He's amazing. He has some really, really cool haunted objects that I was allowed to view privately. On Friday, before the convention even started, we were out having a couple of drinks, and he asked me if I wanted to actually meet his objects in person, and I had a really great experience with his objects. I won't get more into them because they're his to talk about the tale on them, and I don't know all the backstory behind them, and I don't want to put any lore on them that may or may not be there without letting him do it first, because they're obviously his. But everybody on that panel was fantastic. I loved every minute of it. I wish we could have had double the amount of time, and I'm hoping we get a chance to do chapter 2 next year, because it was just an amazing time to be up there with those people.
Maybe I could join you next year on the panel.
What's that?
Maybe I could join you guys on the panel next year.
It would be my honor to talk with you, brother. It really, really would, because you bring to the table with your artwork, which is actually through your experiences, a dynamic that not a lot of people have, you know, and
very few
I know that
people.
and I know that you don't like to take credit for your artwork, and you're very humble about that stuff. And you and I talked about your artwork on Sunday when we actually had a few down moments when the crowd was a little bit on the thinner side, so we actually were able to talk over the white noise, which is all the people walking around. And I admire you for doing it. I kind of wish I should start doing that shit, but I don't even. I couldn't draw a stick figure to save my friggin' life. So for me, I would have to have an artist there side by side with me drawing what the hell I see
Like
in
a
order to
sketch
be able to
artist,
make it
like a police sketch artist.
Exactly.
Yes, right.
Like
Yeah, no, but Anthony
like
has good advice for that. He does. What do you tell people who say they can't draw?
What I tell people?
I'm like your fangirl. Like, what do you tell? You always tell people who say I can't draw.
If you can't draw, you know, you could draw a little stick figure and put on the next side, on the side of it, what you see.
Describe it.
The color of the hair, the eyes, what you see, the shirt, the color of the shirt, and then just label it, put it there, put the date on it, how the date, the time, what time of year or whatever, and
weather.
Put it there. Just
everything.
Have a log, a journal, and just every time you see something, and then you have it dated. So say somebody goes there next year and you have a bunch of different logs, you say, okay, you went to this location, and then you look up the location and say, you know, this is what I seen there.
Right.
You've seen the same thing, then you get verification.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just give yourself notes of what what you see, what and how you see it and why you see it. Because sometimes I see things and I just write, you know, and if I get a name or if I get something that they're into, painting or something else, or even
farmer or whatever.
You know, I'll if you see it on side of mine, I write the story also where I seen it and everything else. So
that's cool. I can start my own collection of SLS stick figures because that's about as far. It is the SLS, right? The one that shows
all
up.
The drawings look the same, but the description's different.
But I mean, all you have to do is log what you see, and then you could go back to it later on. You don't have to draw. All you give yourself like some notes, and then, like I said, where you seen it, the time you seen it, even how the weather is outside. Because that affects investigations also. If it's raining, lightning, if it's a dry, if it's cold, that can affect also locations, how spirits manifest, you know?
That's cool, you know, and take a little bit of a side note. I actually want to talk about my personal favorite paranormal person, which is my wife, because we actually did our 15-year wedding vow renewals at the convention right after we got done with our lecture. With my lecture, we actually went out to the banner out in the middle of the floor around 6 o'clock or so. So it was quiet. The people had gone, which was nice because my wife doesn't like having a lot of people around her anyway. We were surrounded by great friends at the time. I wish I could have told more people that could have been there, but for some reason we were trying to stay respectful to the times between the event and the actual VIP party. So
beautiful.
She was dressed in a nice black dress. I had the Beetlejuice costume on. Yep, there we go.
Oh, look
That's
at
the one with the mask. I didn't wear the mask during the ceremony because I felt it might have been a little too weird. But my best friend Russ, like I was just talking about, he actually did the actual vow renewal for us.
Nice.
You know,
I was just about to ask who did the ceremony. Oh yeah, you guys look so good.
It was kind of funny. He even had it all written down in a notebook that looked like the book of the recently deceased from Beetlejuice.
Oh wow!
So he and his lovely wife Nicole did all this work for us. Yeah, it was a great time. I loved having it. Having Jeff and Ashley allowing us to, the fact that Jeff and Ashley allowed us to actually do it there, and
that's
God
awesome.
bless her for having to put up with me for 15 years, and it's going to be a lot more than that afterwards because she just renewed her fate and she has to put up with it, which is great. But if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now because
exactly
she's the reason that I got into the paranormal. She's the reason that I haven't gone mentally insane and tried to just God only knows what, because she is my, she's my rock, and I have to give her credit. So to me, she is the most important person through the paranormal that I have on my side.
And your wife's name is Jean, correct?
Jean. Yep.
Jean.
Yep.
I just want to shout out to Jean. You're amazing. You look beautiful in that black dress.
Yep, she is the person who will stay as far away from the spotlight as humanly effing possible. And if the spotlight's here, she wants to be way over here. For me, if the spotlight's there, I'll take it because I'm used to it. So
I'm the opposite. I'm like her. So Anthony's like you. So we do well together. Yeah, I'm happy to just stay in the background.
We are the ultimate yin and yang, and.
That's how it works.
I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for her every single day. I know it's a huge plug for her, and I wanted to get a chance while we were talking to talk about this, because it was a big thing for us, and we were so happy that we were able to do this there, and I truly thank Jeff and Ashley, who allowed us to. There's Russ and his lovely wife Nicole in the last picture. There we go. Yep, there's Russ and his lovely wife Nicole, who we love very dearly. And it was so great that they were there with us, and they made the whole thing reality. And I'm thankful for all those guys. And
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. It was the first thing Anthony told me. I was like, "How is the convention?" He's like, "You got to hear this. They renewed their vows." Like nothing about the paranormal, nothing about horror. He just had to talk about your vow renewal. And just so you know, his anniversary is October, right? October 16th. So happy anniversary. Happy 15th anniversary. This week, my parents are celebrating their 60th. My parents, their 60th anniversary on Thursday. So before I forget that, happy 60th anniversary, Mom and Dad, on Thursday.
That's amazing. That's really amazing, and an oddball thing that I didn't realize about it until I actually did a little bit of digging. But on this weekend, my parents' wedding anniversary was the 7th. God rest both of their souls.
September 7th.
And September 7th was actually there. And the only reason I know this is because they used to play those numbers in the Mass State Lottery every week, twice a week, on top of birthdays mixed in and whatnot. But
I love it. Yep, my dad does that.
I did the math, and I'm like, oh my God, we did our anniversary vow renewal right around the time of my parents' anniversary.
So romantic.
And it really is, and it's amazing how it all falls together,
It does. It does. When it's supposed to, it does. And when you're fighting it, it doesn't,
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I can honestly say without a shadow of a doubt, my wife and I have been together for 18 years. We have only had one you could consider a fight, but not really, in 18 years. We've
Anthony, how about you? I was gonna say, not me. No.
I'm 33 years married.
30 for me, married.
A couple of times in there.
We may have fought once or twice.
I think it was. I think that argument was before we got married, and that was it. But we don't fight. If she gets mad, I go in the other room. I go into the other room, and then things calm down and everything. It goes back to whatever.
Yeah.
There's no point in fighting over stupid shit.
No.
I want to show some pictures from the night we all got together. This is
nice.
Remember Friday night after what happened here, after we set up everything, we all got together. To me, this is the para unity, because we sat down, being Italian, to become friends, family. You have a meal together. You have a meal, drinks, and laughs. So that night we sat down at a table. We had like 40 people at it. That's the other end of the table.
There's Patty.
Patty, Haley, Mike Danger. Down on the end, you can see Ashley. And there's a bunch of people standing and talking around. Okay. This is our end of the table. Okay.
There
There's
are. Me.
There you go.
My wife is actually cut off by the camera. She's like right next to me.
Yeah.
And I see you.
I don't think she really minds. Tell you. because she's really
No.
shy when it comes to that.
I see
I
Giuseppe.
never realized to cut her off.
You actually have a couple of pictures with her in it, I think.
Yeah, I got a bunch of pictures with her in it. We had to sneak those.
That's true.
Mary Jo was behind, across from us, and
There's Mary Jo.
There you
Nice
guys
boob.
go. Oh,
there
that's
she is. There she is,
VIP.
sitting right next to me. Yeah.
Is Ashley? That's the shirt
logo.
she had on for that.
Yeah, there's my wife. There's my wife and I looking at the logo. Yeah.
I
love
got
it.
it here too. See?
Well, that's a great photo.
Got you. See?
Yeah.
Tell Jean we got her. She's on the show without being known. She's on the show. She's probably watching.
Isn't it ironic that I'm wearing a Beetlejuice shirt right there, and then I ended up dressing like Beetlejuice at the convention?
Did you plan that?
No.
Oh, wow.
The Beetlejuice suit was actually a last minute thing because I originally had bought a one of those evil court jester suits to wear at the convention, but I never actually did wear the damn thing because I didn't like the way that it fit. So, and I wanted something. As soon as she showed me the black dress, I'm like, I need to look better than that if we're gonna do pictures. I don't need to have her marrying a clown. So I looked online real quick. I found the Beetlejuice suit, and I ordered it through Amazon. Thank God I had an Amazon card because I think the shipping cost more than the effing suit did. And then
I'm sure.
I had it sent to me. I got it within like 2 days. I'm like, thank God it's here. Shoved it in the bag, and I'm actually wearing the Beetlejuice shirt right now from.
Oh my God! And your wife had a supernatural shirt on. So Mary Beth noticed.
This is my ghost, the ghost with the most. Yep.
Yes, Demon Sam. Look at that.
Yep.
The ghost with
it's
the
amazing.
We're into our t-shirts on this show, clearly.
and then on Saturday night they had the VIP. VIP party, and we all went to that too. Well, matter of fact, it was like a last minute thing for me because I didn't get tickets for it right away. And then as it was getting to the end, I'm like, Jeff, if anybody does a show, I'll take a ticket, And he goes, oh, okay. So I got, he goes, sure. And then we went up there, and Joe, Uncle Giuseppe, and I both got in. So some of the people that I was there with, that we were there with.
There's Patty,
Patty.
I love her.
That's Ron LeBlanc, of course, Mary Jo.
April Bussett. Yep, I know April. Yep.
And where are you guys? I got you guys too. That's Mary Jo's husband, Bill.
Bill is a cool dude. I like Bill. Bill's really cool dude.
Bill doesn't get as much as Mary Jo is the attraction there. And then I shown us.
There we go. There we go.
And look, you can see Santiago in the background over there.
Oh yeah,
he is freaking hysterical. Santiago. Oh my God, Santi is out of control. He was dancing away to what was it, Rain and Men or something like that at the VIP party.
Yeah,
they had like a dance off going on. It was like freaking crazy.
It was funny. He comes up and we're standing. I was standing there. It was me, Ronnie LeBlanc. Jeff was there. Mike Danger and Rob.
Speaking of, he keeps calling him Mike Danger, but guess who's here?
Hey, Mike.
There he is.
So we were standing there and
on cue.
What do you call it? And he comes up and he's like, "Oh man, maybe I shouldn't dance. Oh man, my body hurts." I'm like, "Yeah, I can imagine." He was on the floor doing the worm and all this stuff. I'm like, if I got on the floor, I'd still be on that floor. And then
can you imagine?
They'd be bringing me out with that hearse.
The radicals could pick you up and put you in the radicals could pick you up in the hearse and drive you back.
You really are next.
I would have been falling apart with the way they were dancing. And Mike went dancing. They had a break dance contest, the two of them. I'm like, I'm standing this way. My eyes hurt just watching those two.
I agree.
That sounds
it was amazing.
Video.
Yeah, it was just an amazing turnout. Like everything the turnouts were amazing. Everybody was really cool, you know, and I was so like I said, I'm just so thankful that I was able to be part of the event, that my wife and I were there, you know, and I can't wait to be part of it next year, because it's going to be even more crazy next year. If I know Jeff, Ashley, and you know, with Danger, Mike, and everybody in the group, I can imagine how much crazier it's going to get, how much bigger, or whatever they're going to do.
Yeah,
it's just it's going to be amazing no matter what, because I mean, they have a great template to start with. They know what worked this year, what may not have worked the way that they wanted it to, so they can always tweak things. I mean, I've been to plenty of events, whether they were wrestling conventions or paranormal, or I'm a gigantic horror fan, so to me, you know, and like you, I don't think we really touched on it. Paranormal and horror, everybody's like, oh, it's two different things. I go, no, they're in the same umbrella. They're in the same umbrella.
If you don't mind. Well, first of all, before I forget, if Danger's still here, what are the dates for next year? I want to make sure I put those up.
I heard 13th, 14th of next September.
If he's listening, Danger, if you're listening. But anyway, go ahead. Explain how, because I asked that question. Talk about the relationship between horror and the paranormal.
I don't mind doing that at all. And let me dial it. I'm going to dial all the way back. I could probably go further back, but the first thing in my head is The Exorcist. Okay.
Okay.
What's the main antagonist of The Exorcist? A spiritual entity who is hosted inside of a young girl.
Right.
There's your paranormal. Your paranormal is the spirit inside of the girl. You know, the fact that a lot of your movie monsters are spectral as well. You know, let me see, 13 Ghosts, or your paranormal activity movies, your entire friggin' Conjuring universe series.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
It's all paranormal based horror movies. Poltergeist, all of the Poltergeist movies. And I'm guaranteeing you that, I mean, come on, Ghostface is a character that's supposed to look like a ghost. You know, there's even a Jason Voorhees movie where his spirit travels from person to person and makes them do the killing for him until he actually finds a host from his own bloodline, which is part 9. I know way too much about horror movies. It's ridiculous. But
clearly, that's awesome.
There's another one. Freddy Krueger was a vengeful spirit who haunted people and killed them in their dreams.
That was my favorite.
Chucky from Child's Play is a spirit who inhabited a doll. You know? So if you think about it, the paranormal and the horror go hand in hand. A lot of the TV shows are made to look dark and ominous because they want to put a little bit of jump into it, a little bit of fear, horror, paranormal ghost. So to me, it's all under the same umbrella. It's just different branches.
Right. Or like The Ring. That's a good example.
Yeah, there's another one. The Grudge, The Ring.
Yeah.
You know, but all of these franchises, and I know that there's a bunch of old school black and white movies that go all the way back, like some of the Vincent Price movies. There's the House on Haunted Hill, which is based off of ghosts and spirits, and that's from the late 60s. I mean, there was the one that came out in like the late 90s or so. Oh, there's that movie called The Haunting, which is actually another really cool one that they've actually used as a spoof on some other movies and stuff like that. They used that movie with some of the people in I believe the movie that they referenced it in was Scary Movie 2. When Hugh Crane, when it came out of the big picture on the wall that fell off the wall, and the spirit comes out of the thing, who was actually Richard Mall from Night Court back in the day, but it was actually but if you think about it, that's what the hook is. That's what the connection is. The paranormal and the horror are way more connected than you ever give it credit for, because you think that, you know, I mean, Hollywood's been using
others
and goblins and everything Even here's another one.
I see it.
How in the paranormal, people who get possessed by things get like that face dysmorphia going on. Like sometimes people they think about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, same basic idea. Because of the energy inside of you, your features change, your attitude change, your voice change. All of these things.
You could go back to all these movies, like you said, like Evil Dead, and you go back so far to the beginning of movies where they had some sort of spirit coming out and taking over a body, or just ghosts.
Frankenstein, Dracula.
Remember the old show was a series, The Ghost of Mrs. Muir. That was supposed to be a woman that had a ghost in her house. That of course, they had like a romantic type of thing, but it was a ghost. I mean, yes, you're right. Horror does go together with spirits and stuff like that.
Way more than we think about. It's great that they actually called this. It's great that they brought in both genres together to make people think about it more. But the fact that it's been going on for decades and decades and decades, and movies all the way back to the golden age of the old black and white. So you're talking almost 100 years. But the movies, any movie that you've ever seen that has a freaking ghost in it is linked to the paranormal.
Yeah, sure.
Which is the truth.
Bela Lugosi. I don't want to miss we had a question a while back directly for you, so I don't want to miss it.
Well, there's another question on there, but I can't quite see what it says. It says
I can read it to you. It says, Jeremy, have you ever investigated a place that really scared you or made you super uncomfortable?
At times, yes. I will share one, which is the USS Salem, the battleship down in Quincy, Massachusetts. There was one time that I investigated there that I went in as a guest of my dear friend James Anito and his partner at the time, Carl Johnson. They were doing an investigation, and James wanted to bring me in and use me as a conduit to be able to communicate with the spirit. And we were doing it in the main CPO mess hall, and we were sitting there, and I opened up to channel the controller energy, which was really, really strong, and it shook me really, really much. And I had a friend of mine sitting next to me a big man himself, and he almost got knocked out of his chair by the amount of energy that was coming through me. It literally almost threw him out of his chair, sitting right next to me. You could feel it going through the table. It took a couple of people to physically pry my hands off of the table. Another place that was a bit uneasy was Rolling Hills Asylum.
One of my top three. Top three in terms of
I went there. I've been there one time. We were there investigating with Tango and Stephen Tango from Ghost Hunters. They were out doing an appearance, and we were investigating there. And there's like that one wing that they had like all the tuberculosis stuff that had happened. And the minute that I walked anywhere near it, my skin started crawling off of itself almost. And I was like, nope, can't be here, because I literally looked up and there was an entity staring over the railing at me. And I was like, okay, I'm out of here. See, I'm very fortunate.
Don't sleep on that place. A lot of people don't think about the Rolling Hills. It's a really active, really active location.
Yeah,
I respect that place very, very much.
Yeah,
I was only been there once. Eastern State Penitentiary gave me strange vibes too, but that was even during the daytime when we were just walking around checking the place out during the daytime.
Like a tour. Yeah.
Yep. We did a tour. We were actually there doing the Terror Behind the Walls haunted house. My wife and I love Halloween style haunted houses and jump scares and all that kind of crap too. So
isn't that the best?
Our season for that is coming up now, and the biggest thing that I get from people, and I want to go back to the other question that you had set up that you were going to say, but like for me, this field doesn't end at the end of October. It's year round for me. I experience things all the time. especially at my job at the hospital. I have communication with spirits all the time.
How do you do that at the hospital? Like at a hospital, being so open. How do you work at a hospital?
You know how many people die in a hospital?
Exactly. Like I would think that would be a hard place for a medium or a psychic to work.
Yeah.
I work in food services. I deliver the food to the patients, and I take care of all the kitchenettes on the floors. But I've seen some stuff.
Right.
But no,
but
as
you're
far
in
as
the hospital. Yeah.
scary places, Eastern State, Rolling Hills, where there was another one. The USS Salem that one time. I've had some other experiences where literally, like, the hair would stand up on end and it would not come back down for a while because I've had encounters with kind of in scary energy spirits more so than actual locations. I've been in locations that are just that feel like normal, but next thing you know, something dark and weird comes out from around the corner, and you're like, "Oh, okay, this could be interesting," and then take it from there. But what was the other question that had come up? Do you remember? Or
I'm not sure. No, I just wanted to know the link, how you would describe the link between the paranormal and horror. That was the other question.
Okay, I thought you had a question that had popped up down at the screen that we had missed. But
no, I think we got it. I think we got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I apologize. I forgot about the damn near one of the scariest places is the Hinsdale House in New York.
We talk about that show on this. We talk about that house on this show all the time. We both been there many times. Anthony has a drawing hanging up there at the bottom of the stairs. That girl.
Yeah, one of my drawings is actually hanging at the stairs
in the kitchen.
At the Hinsdale.
That's Anthony's.
That place was one of the most eye-opening experiences that I had. I did a Ouija board session in there with my poor wife. I can't believe she actually got on the other side of the board from me. And there's a male energy that like dominates the downstairs in that house. And I got on the board, and he pushed through me and was using my hands and was spinning the planchette around the board with my hands, and I couldn't let go of the damn thing because he was just. It felt like he had his hands like pushing down on my shoulders at the same time that he was controlling everything going on. And that you could feel the board damn near vibrating underneath us, and I'm like, wow! And that was crazy. And we all slept. Everybody that was there slept in the living room because nobody wanted to go. Nobody wanted to stay upstairs in the bedroom area.
Everybody does that.
Everybody sleeps on the couches. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And we were down there, and you know how the lights on the staircases, they were like turning on constantly all night long because you thought people were running up and down the stairs. You could hear footsteps in the upstairs room.
Yep.
At one point, I was looking up because I was, of course, my couch that I was on was right near where the grate is, so I could actually see straight up in there, and I could see them like looking down at us through the grate, and they were talking. I couldn't quite make out the word, but they were like two or three of them that were up there talking, and you could see the shadows of their faces like looking through the thing on us.
Yes, you guys, there's a grate that you can see to the second floor. And yeah, people who haven't been there, you can actually see there's like a grate, and that's that grate is creepy. I agree.
Which is scarier when you realize that they can look down at you, and they were definitely looking down.
Yeah, no way, no. I'm
glad I don't see that place is on my list of scary locations. My wife will never go back. I'm actually surprised that she actually wanted to go out there in the first place.
I was going to say, I know people who won't go there. Yeah, just from reputation.
Well, we were doing a two location tour with there's a question.
Yep.
I can't.
Jeremy,
read it.
This is going to be an important one at the end of the show. What's your favorite snack when you investigate? We always ask, what's your favorite investigation snack? What's your go-to? Everybody knows mine's candy, sour candy.
Okay. Honestly, my favorite thing are my damn near energy drinks.
That's Anthony. No, we like our seltzers and our Red Bull.
I was a huge snacker at one point. I've actually in the last 3.5 months I've lost about 65 pounds. I've been working on. I gave up sugar right after Mother's Day this year. So from Mother's Day to now, I've lost about 65 pounds just by changing my diet and going to the gym and things of that nature.
Yes, and French fries, true. And Anthony likes cannoli, everybody.
Cannoli! Hey, cannoli. But sometimes like chips, or like for a long time it was actually like some kind of Hostess cake. I used to like to have those as a go-to,
Yeah, you
try
need a
to
little pick me
balance
up.
myself
Yes.
out a little bit,
Yeah. Smart, giving up sugar. Well, congratulations. That's a great health
mine
choice.
is like a Red Bull and a candy bar just to keep me the energy.
Right.
For me, it's like Bang energy drinks, Monster, anything with high caffeine, because I like to have all my senses going at all times. I like to have my mind as sharp as possible. When it crashes later on, well, shit happens.
That's
But
the problem.
in the moment, I don't want to be like feeling like I'm dragging. So I'll pound a couple of drinks.
Anthony knows I've got the coffee on IV. I love coffee, like a massive coffee fan. But I'm also a vegetarian, so Anthony likes to say, "Go out and eat the grass, Jenny." He goes, "Go outside and breathe."
She's a vegetarian, so it's like every time we go out,
so he makes fun of me relentlessly.
It's like everybody's ordering hamburgers and stuff, and she's like, I can't. And she's chewing on a salad. So why don't you just go outside and graze on the grass?
Yeah, I mean, I like my salad, but I'm definitely not a vegetarian, so that's definitely not an issue.
Yeah,
because I think nowadays I'm more of a protein junkie nowadays than I was before, because I gave up all the sugar, been cutting down on the carbs, so I've been more of a protein junkie nowadays. So, beef sticks, beef jerky, all that kind of crap. I like to keep that on hand. So
no, it's good. And you know what, Kimm, who is our fellow host on this show and who's off for the summer, she's a veterinarian with horse racing, so that's their season. So she's not with us in the summer, but she's one of our hosts here, and she's a huge fan of jerky as well. After an investigation, she's a psychic medium. She's a location medium, and she feels after investigation she wants meat. She's like, I crave meat. I eat jerky and meat and things like that. And that always interested me, that she had this like intense protein craving after an investigation.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I'm going to say this real quick about that, because I know that we're winding down, but I want to make a quick comment about that.
Oh my gosh, are we? Jeez, it's going fast. Go ahead. Sorry.
The stronger you are to your connection to the paranormal with spirits and whatnot, and the more energy that they draw out of you in order to communicate to you, the more your body craves nutrients to try to rebuild that energy that they're taking from you while you're at the locations.
That's right.
So whether it's sugar, or some people are carb crazy, I think that's where the pizza and the paranormal come to roast, is because they like to get people to charge up on carbs, because they realize that the spirits are going to use you as a battery. Like, I don't know, like being clairvoyant, it feels like they use me as a battery to communicate through me, or in the area to talk through the equipment. So they need my energy to do that, and then I need to replenish that energy. So that's where all the snacking comes from, is trying to replenish your energy afterwards. So
but also,
that makes so much sense.
People realize when they start taking your energy away from you, you better drink a lot of water, because not your energy's taken away. So when they're taking the energy away, because it's like a heat, they're feeding off your heat and stuff. They're going to give you the moistness in your mouth, or it's going to dry. So you're going to have dry mouth. So that's always good to have water also.
I kill a whole gallon of water.
I just like to eat.
I usually kill a gallon of water in every investigation that I go to.
Really?
You got to realize your body's like the battery. You have a battery, and it keeps on using it. And then you have to fill it up with water every so often.
That makes
Absolutely.
sense.
So your body's like that battery. They keep on using you until you start drying, and then you put your water in. So that you always should have a bottle of water on the side, or something moist that's going to quench your thirst. I mean, you could drink all these sugar drinks. That doesn't help you. That dehydrates you more. Even alcohol or anything with alcohol. Just have water. Just replenish.
Yeah.
Oh God! If there's any word to the wise that I can possibly give, don't fucking drink and investigate. It's just not a good idea.
No.
Never.
Oh my God, that's the first F-bomb I used the whole night. But please don't drink.
It was well used, Jeremy. Well used. Because don't do it.
I've had a beer or two, but because of on the light ABV side. But it's still not a good idea because it compromises your senses, even if you only have one or two. And I'm a big guy, so 2 Bud Lights isn't going to do shit to me. But the more relaxed you are, and you lower your guard. I don't mind having a couple of beers later on after the investigation is over. As a relaxation thing. But when you're in the heat of the moment, you don't want to compromise yourself. Between that and smoking the green stuff, I know it's a big part of pop culture nowadays. But save your recreational shit until after the investigation. Don't do it during it. Cigarettes, who cares? Cigarettes ain't gonna do nothing to you. But as far as like your Mary Jane marijuana, whatever you want to call it, or your alcohol, save your recreational stuff for after your investigation because you're going to compromise yourself. You could possibly compromise somebody else who's next to you because it could cause problems. So
you got to be safe.
That's my personal opinion. So.
They pop gummies. You don't need those the gummy, or anything that's gonna just change your attitude or just your thinking ability on investigation. You by popping, like smoking weed or eating gummies or just a drink, anything with alcohol, anything that's going to alter your ability to think. Don't do it.
I have physically seen people go into investigations under the influence of something, and horrible shit has happened to them.
I've seen people do it on purpose, that they're opening up more.
No, it's ridiculous if anybody has to. You have to open your think to think.
I agree.
Like I don't like to judge anyone, but I think it's great advice what you're giving.
No, I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying that.
No, you're not.
If you want to do it, that's fantastic.
You're giving good advice.
Save it for afterwards.
No, you're giving good advice. You're not judging the person. You're giving good advice about investigations. You're saying do it whenever, not then. No, I agree. Yeah, I just meant, I don't, in general, but I think you're right. 100%. And like you said, don't forget safety. Like safety is a huge thing. We're in the dark. We're in asylums. We're in broken floors. We're in whatever, you're in
the you could be in the hull of a battleship because there's plenty of ships.
Exactly.
What do you want to do? You want to try to climb over those ankle breakers if you have a couple of drinks in you or a couple of smokes?
When you haven't,
trust me. Yeah. And then if you have an experience, it could be questionable. Is it your experience or it's something hallucinating from you, whatever you did?
Oh yeah. My God, where does the time go? The time just escaped from all of us.
Do you love
to go back to wrestling? Bobby wants to. Oh, do you enjoy it still?
I still do watch professional wrestling as much as I can, usually through clips on YouTube because I don't have time to actually watch it on television. I still have a lot of friends who are involved in the business still. I see a lot of guys that I helped train who are still involved in the business on multiple levels. I love it. I'll never stop loving wrestling to the day I die. I might not be able to watch it as much, but I do. I like to go back on the Peacock network and watch like old wrestling pay-per-views from a time since past because that was my era, was in the 80s and stuff. But
you're nostalgic.
I still enjoy it to this day, and I'm hoping I still have that passion for the paranormal in years from now too. So
something tells me you will. You have a lot of enthusiasm, and we thank you for it tonight. Thank you so much. This was the best. I think this might have been the fastest 2 hours of a show that we've ever had.
Paranormal is not going to affect you by like wrestling, so you'll be in it.
We're not going to let you. I look forward to meeting you in person and investigating with you sometime.
I would love, I would love to do that. I just want to take this moment to thank you guys for having me on the show tonight. It was my honor to get a chance to sit here and talk with you guys tonight, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
I'm so happy that you came on tonight, and we got to talk about we had a great time this weekend. So but we do have to end the show.
Yep. Mary Beth wants you back.
Yeah, Mary Beth. Come on back.
She was already planning the next time you're coming on.
Yeah, she's going to book you.
You might
book us. We're never going to know you're going to be a guest.
Several months out, whenever you want me to come back on, I am more than willing to come back on. We can continue our conversation.
We're going to see each other. Okay, we just hit the 2-hour mark, so we really have to say goodnight. I want to thank everybody in the audience tonight. We had an awesome time. Thank you for coming in with your questions and everything. Everybody in the audience, if you like the show, please hit like, please, or heart, whatever you want to put on it. But Jeremy, thank you for coming. I mean, we had a great time this weekend. I'm glad it continued to tonight. Thank you. You were a fantastic guest. Everybody seemed to like you. They like me too, but I don't know why. But they like you even more.
Anthony's the eye candy. He's the show's eye candy.
I'm the eye candy. So I just want to thank you for coming on, and everybody. I had a fantastic time. We hung out the weekend, breakfast, lunch, dinner. So we had a good time. So I want to tell everybody in the audience, you got to be safe out there. When you go on investigations, you got to be safe because you want to look for ghosts. You don't want to be a ghost. Hey, forget about it. Ciao, familia.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you very much.
Hey, how you doing?